story. The leadership was not crazy about the idea of these two.
Welcome to Healthcare Sucks. And this is a healthcare update. I'm going to let you listen to this and we're going to comment off and on. But here's Pelosi rattling on. And I do mean rattling. Oh, the cemetery. Oh, basketball games. Oh, this. Oh, we're going to do this for the healthcare. Remember, this is the same band of people that cut our meds. The same band of people that are pushing people to suicide. The same band of people that have harmed seniors, disabled, and mentally ill. Taking away meds that are needed. Now they even, to get certain stockings or other things, if you have blood clots, you can't get those. Due to these people, this started way back during the Obama era of medicine, and it continues today. We also have her rattling on about generics. Well, for the cost that we pay for medication now, we could be having the real deal medications. In a lot of cases, people, I included, have what's called filler allergic reactions, which is you're not allergic to the medications that are out there. You're allergic to the fillers that they use, especially in generics. Because generics are basically a garbage, it's the low barrel of all medication for the most part. There are few, and I do mean a few things that are the same. But for the most part, generics are garbage. That's what they are offering us. And they talk about at a low cost and this and this. All they'd have to do is stand their ground, and the pharmaceutical companies would give the real deal at a low cost. So with that, I'm going to let you listen to her rattle on for a minute, and then we'll talk.
Progressives going to the committee. So they told them they didn't really have that much room, so they'd have to share one chair. Imagine how it was. And the irony of it all is that Ron Dellums would later become the chair of the Armed Services Committee and respected highly by the Republicans on the committee as well. So today he died a while ago, but the interment is now at Arlington National Cemetery. So thank you for...
Can you not tell this is BS? She's just rattling on to distract the people from the reality of what's going on. This is distraction tactics.
Accommodating the change. Well, today, in keeping with what we said in the campaign for the people, lower health care costs, we proudly are passing Protecting Americans with Pre-Existing Conditions Act. It is Annie Custer's legislation. She's been a wonderful leader on this, and we thank her for her leadership. And what this bill does is blocks the administration's cynical guidance that invites states to dismantle protections for people with pre-existing conditions.
That's false. We all know, or at least I do, and I can tell you firsthand, the current president has signed that pre-existing will stay no matter what in any health care. So here's another fib or flat out lie.
And pushes families into junk plans that discriminate against people with pre-existing conditions. And
she said junk plans. Did you notice that? Junk plans. Like junk medications. Like also not giving the medication to the people. Now to get certain tests, you have to jump so many hurdles. By the time you get them done, you're dead or your loved ones are dead.
Do not cover essential benefits. It's so funny during the campaign, the Republicans kept saying, "Oh, we don't want to do away with pre-existing condition benefit," but they have. And in any case, it's again of the administration's reckless sabotage of the Affordable Care Act. Yesterday, we passed bipartisan legislation to reduce the price.
There's not sabotage. What they're trying to do is dismantle a broken system and a broken healthcare plan and put forth something that will work. Now, whether they'll get the right one or not, unless someone like I or maybe one of you guys that know and have lived it. I doubt it. But it can't, I hate to say it can't be any worse, but I can tell you that what we've got going and had going through Obamacare has been terrible.
Prescription drugs by making it easier for generics to come to the market. This week we'll build. Next week, this is this week. It's a very exciting day that we'll be passing this legislation.
Make it easier for them to make garbage generics available. In other words, when we do give you some medicine from this band of idiots, we're going to give you the lowest, garbagest drugs that we can give you. Read between the lines, people. It doesn't matter red or white. Just listen to what's coming out of her mouth.
Invite it to be very bipartisan. Send it to the Senate and hope that the President of the United States, who says he supports the benefit of pre-existing conditions, to sign into law as soon as possible. Next.
Now, he does support. You just heard it out of her lips. And that's what he does. But what he does not support is all the BS that's going to be hidden in the fine line paper. You know, one page could say it all. But I'll bet this thing's going to have like 100, 200, 1,000 pages of BS and things tied to it. Remember that when you look at this snake.
This week we'll build upon this action by bringing to the floor Strengthening Healthcare and Lowering Prescription Drug Cost Act, a package of 7 bills to further protect families' healthcare and lower their healthcare costs. Now, in the time that...
What did I just tell you? A package of 7 bills. Remember, we're talking one thing? Now we've got 7. Next, we're going to have 50. I told you guys, lie after lie.
We have been here. We've brought so many bills to the floor, but our committees have been very active in preparing other legislation. Hence, these bills this week and next are now ripe. One of them would further stop junk plans that can discriminate against people with pre-existing conditions, which I mentioned. Now, this is a further strengthening of that legislation, reversing the Trump administration's sabotage once again of enrollment outreach, and help states set up their own marketplaces, and more strong action against pharma's unfair practices.
Okay, what we have going, and we've always had going, I've been doing healthcare for 30 years, is the money has always come from the feds, went to the states, and the states decide how to implement it. So they've always done that. But during Obamacare, they made weird little guidelines, and there was so much buried. And this thing about garbage, it's been garbage healthcare all along. So who does she think she's fooling? Come on. We're awake, people. You and I know. You've got a friend that's suffering. Or you're suffering yourself, or a family member. They don't care. Remember that.
With additional steps to move affordable generics to market. Part of that bill is this week, part next week. Again, as we prepare to celebrate Mother's Day, we all celebrating Mother's Day. We probably won't have a basketball game that day. We'll have this all done by then. That's how we celebrate. Giants, Warriors.
Come on, more BS? Guys.
On Sunday? Well, I have to go to my granddaughter's play, and depending on the time of it, I usually would be going to a Giants game. As we prepare to celebrate Mother's Day, we're continuing to fight in the tragedy of maternal deaths in America. It's just so remarkable in this country that we would have this, and it disproportionately affects women.
Let's talk about that for a minute. They even have to fight to get prenatal medication under the Obamacare. Prenatal medication, vitamins, and certain tests, certain other things. So here's a snake telling you, just like off the Jungle Book, remember? Trust in me, oh, trust in me. She will deceive if you trust in her.
That's color. It's outrageous that women of color die from pregnancy-related. Uh,
Woman in color. Here's the black and white thing, as they push all the time. You know, brothers and sisters, no matter what color or nationality are, we're all one under God. Let's all join together and push the left and the right out. Because they don't care what we are, what color we are. They just want us to fight, too. That's where this comes from.
Complications, I guess is the word I'm looking for. Complications are 3 times higher than white women. Women of color die from pregnancy-related complications 3 times higher than white women. We salute the leadership of members to end this.
I'll bet she doesn't even know what the complications are, guys.
Of North Carolina and a freshman member, Lauren Underwood, are launching a Black Maternal Health Caucus, and look forward to working with them. And now, in terms of the disaster assistance, this week our Democratic majority is advancing a robust, urgently needed relief bill for disaster-struck communities. In January, the House passed a strong emergency. Democratic House passed a strong.
The current president's taking care of disaster relief. I think we can all definitely. He's been doing his best. He spends plenty of money on it. Now, again, you got to look at what's buried in the paperwork from these people.
Emergency disaster relief bill. And as you know, there have been some disasters since then, so this bill on Friday will address those. But the Republican Senate has done nothing. They haven't taken up one bill. They haven't initiated their own bill.
That's because the Democrats keep blocking everything, guys.
The devastating floods have wreaked havoc and historic damage.
And there's going to be more floods. We all know.
Our bill builds on the last supplemental, as I mentioned, bringing an extra $3 billion specifically for Midwest flood relief.
$3 billion, guys. Like it's a slice of cake.
Can't afford the Republicans' inaction on this. So hopefully the Republicans in the Senate will, the combination of our earlier bill and this bill that addresses more recent disaster.
And she doesn't talk a minute about how it's going to be implemented, what the guidelines are, how it's going to be put out. I mean, that would take a few minutes. In other words, the fat cats are going to roll that $3 billion around from one to another like a cat playing with a ball.
This will be something that they will let us proceed on. I've said it before, maybe not to all of you. Mitch McConnell, in his political solicitations, describes himself as the Grim Reaper. Would you do that if you were running for office? Would you want that to be your pitch? Let me give you hope and inspiration. I'm the Grim Reaper, meaning that he's going to kill every bill that comes over from the House. And I have news for him that the legislation that we passed, whether it's equal pay for equal work, whether it is...
No, she's a succubus, which is a female vampiric succubus, which sucks your energy, your soul, your life. And believe me, this woman would suck your life aura dry.
Violence Against Women Act, whether it's net neutrality, whether it's H.R. 1 to clean up government, whether it's gun violence prevention, and H.R. 8 that we have, whether it's climate action now, these bills have.
Whether it's take your weapons, whether it's tell you how to run the internet. That started with Obama, guys. Don't forget that. This thing, HR whatever with the internet, this is Obama. This is what they're talking. They're still pushing like it's a wonderful thing. Right now, you are being told what you can say, what you can do. And if you, heaven forbid, you tell the truth now, you get cut. Oppenheimer Ranch Diamond just was cut. BP Earthwatch a long time ago was cut, brothers and sisters. You know, this is like lie after lie.
are popular, bipartisan support across the country. We, in fact, chose legislation that and shaped it in a way that would have the most bipartisan support. Again, President Lincoln, public sentiment is everything. With it, you can accomplish almost anything. Without it, practically nothing. So the Grim Reaper is going to be hearing from the alive and well people out there who care about this legislation.
And a little touch from Lincoln. Oh my gosh, I bet this woman can't even quote what the good parts and what Lincoln, used to say and some of his famous quotes. I bet she would be like Bush trying to say, damned if you do and damned if you don't, or don't this to me, or yeah. They're all the same when it gets to these hokey dokey fib tellers.
And not many people do. It's funny how, not funny, it's interesting to observe how many of the groups, whether we're talking about gun violence, whether we're talking about climate, whether we're talking about many of the subjects, it all comes back to health and well-being of the American people. Clean air, ending the gun violence epidemic, and the rest. So we have an opportunity. So people want action.
Clean air, cloud farts, seeding the air. Huh. How long has that been going on, guys? Yeah. And gun violence. Yeah, when you take the guns from the good people, the bad people will still have guns. Back east, we had a church shooting where, thank God, an NRA member was just on the other day, went and saved the people. 2/3 of the church, if not 3/4, were wiped out. And this gentleman had his AR, went out there and took care of business. There's something coming over the horizon, guys. And we need to be prepared. Don't be afraid. Just be awake. Love your brothers, your sisters. Get your food resources. Get some water. Get your protection things going. I'm going to let this go. It's already 17 minutes of BS. You make your own decisions. This is Healthcare Sucks with a healthcare report about just what they're trying to push. I mean, I'm trying to put together what's called AmeriCare. And I will be sending it, once it's ready, to the president. I will be posting it online. It's going to be short and sweet. You don't need a lot of garbage. You don't need a lot of fat. It will solve the problem. So this is Troy with Healthcare Sucks. Letting you look at the succubus. Over and out.